My name's Adam, and this is Doing Good with a Pleasure. Welcome back, everyone. I know it's been a little bit since that first video, and I appreciate everybody that's starting to follow. Thank you for the support, and I look forward to talking with you guys more and sharing your experiences. Today, I've thought a lot about what I would want to share and what experiences I want to share. What can we do to help instill goodness in the world? And I wanted to share an experience that my family and I had recently. In fact, over Memorial Day this year, we decided to, on a whim and the Memorial Day weekend, to go down to St. George, visit St. George, Zion's National Park, visit the wonderful beauty of the park that's out there, as well as then go out to Las Vegas. During this time, our very last day in Las Vegas, we were leaving our hotel. And as we left the hotel, we jumped into our van. We got everybody packed up. Everybody's ready and excited to come home after a long weekend. We got into the van, went to start the van, and it wouldn't start. So we thought, oh no, what do we do? Well, let's get the jumper cables out of the back of the van, right? We didn't have the jumper cables. We didn't have anything. So we ran into the hotel, asked the hotel for if there's anybody, if they had any jumper cables or anybody that they could help us with jumping our van. Uh, Thankfully, the maintenance worker was there and he was able to help us jump our van. We got it jumped, we got it started, we were excited. We were like, all right, let's go. And we had planned that morning to first off go and visit the Bellagio Hotel and a couple other places as well just before we left. And we wanted to visit the gardens, wanted to see it with the kids, take some pictures. And so we decided, all right, it's about a 15-20 minute drive from where our hotel was. That was good enough for our van to get a good charge into the battery. So we got into the Bellagio, we parked our van, I turned off the van, and I turned it back on to make sure it was going to start again. I turned it off and we went into the hotel. Everything was great. And after about 20, 30 minutes inside the hotel, we decided, you know what, there's this wonderful show that's going on at the Sphere. Why don't we go take a look? Why don't we do it? So we decided again on a whim, let's pay for the ticket, let's do it. So we paid for the tickets and we realized it was starting in 45 minutes. We had to run. So we ran outside, got into the van, went to turn the car on, and it wouldn't start. So now it's been only an hour later and our van wouldn't start again. We realized that one of our kids had left the sliding door open on the van. Well, after running around to everybody in the parking lot trying to figure out if anybody had any jumper cables that could help us jump our van again so we wouldn't be late to the showing, we finally found an older couple that lives in Utah that was able to help us out. We live in Utah, so it was wonderful. It was great. It was match made in heaven. They came around, they pulled their car around to us. We got them really close. And we started jumping the van, and it would not start. It just wouldn't go. It would crank and crank and crank, but just nothing. Eventually, as we're doing this in this process, we realized that one of the cables from the jumper cable had actually melted off. The battery, the heat from the jump was so hot that it actually literally melted the cable off. And we realized, well, that's probably why it's not working. After, I don't know, probably 10, 15 minutes of trying to jump the van and realizing the cable wasn't working, we said thank you so very much to this elderly couple and sent them on their way. After they helped us push our van back into this area where we were in the middle of the parking lot in the road so everybody could get through. We pushed our van over and waited for about 20 minutes. Decided after doing a silent prayer, we said, you know what, let's start it again. Let's try it. And we already had called our insurance. The insurance was on the way. They were going to help us to figure out maybe tow our van. We didn't know what was going to happen. Um, Waiting 20 minutes, we decided, or you know what, let's just give it one more shot. The van started. So I told my wife, I said, you know what, we're not going anywhere else. We're driving, and we're going to let this battery charge as much as we possibly can, and we're not stopping until we need gas. So we stopped in St. George. It was about an hour and a half drive from where we were. Stopped, got gas, turned back on. We were just fine. We got home. Memorial Day, we got home that afternoon, that evening. The next morning, we had to take kids to school. We're just hoping the van's going to start again, right? The van started up just fine, but on my way back, I started smelling this interesting smell. And I thought to myself, it's not supposed to smell like that. So I decided to open the hood of the van when I got home from dropping the kids off. I opened up the hood and there was this liquid that had sprayed all over the van. I don't know what it was. Right? I didn't know. I'm not a car mechanic. I know a few things. I can change brakes and things like that, but I didn't know what in the world was going on. I'm thinking, oh man, now what, right? First, the issues trying to get home. Now something else is happening. I don't know. Thankfully, I have a great friend who is a mechanic, and I said, hey, you know what? Can you come over and just take a look at this? He said, yeah, sure, no worries. And so he came over right away. We opened up the hood, and he goes, after looking at a few things, doing a couple tests, he goes, I think it's the battery. And he said, but don't worry, your battery, you know what? Let's take it where you bought it. Let's see if it's under warranty. We'll see what we can do. I said, awesome. Thank you so much. So we drove our car down to Walmart where apparently we'd purchased this battery almost 3 years ago. And he said, don't worry. I know the guy who is the general manager over the Walmart tire center, who's over all the mechanics there. I said, we'll talk with him. We'll figure it out. I said, great. So he drove down with me, spent his time to drive down with me. We got down to Walmart, realized the battery was under warranty. We were able to get a brand new battery and we were able to get it installed. They installed it for free. So shout out to Walmart. Thank you so much for doing that. And at the end of the day, we were able to come back and that was it. There was nothing else wrong with the van. But throughout this whole entire experience, we realized that there were so many people around us that were ready and willing to do something good, ready and willing to help us in our time of need. And being able to see that really helped me figure out more what I need to do, right, as a person to be able to help those that are around us, right? Sometimes we're all busy. We always have crazy things going on, whether we're running to the next show at the Sphere, or we're running to work, or we're going to visit family, or we can see somebody on the side of the road, right? Or whatever that may be. There's always somebody that's willing to help. And so thank you to everybody that was willing to help my friend with the battery and the elderly couple that helped us. If you ever watch this and ever see this, thank you so much for doing that. And it brought me to think a little bit on our core beliefs that we have in our church, right? As I mentioned in my first video, I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And one of our core beliefs, we have 13 beliefs actually. We call them articles of faith, 13 different things that we have written down, right, as some of our core beliefs that just to help the world and everybody understand what it is we believe. And the number 13, I wanted to share that with you. I'm going to read it because I know I should have this memorized. Everybody's going to come at me, but why don't you have it memorized? Yeah, I used to, but not anymore. But it came to my mind and I wanted to share it with you because I think it goes really well with the whole doing good video series as well as the story that I just shared. But it says, we believe in being honest, true, chaste, benevolent, virtuous, and in doing good to all men. Indeed, we may say that we follow the admonition of Paul. We believe all things, we hope all things, we have endured many things, and hope to be able to endure all things. If there is anything virtuous, lovely, or of good report, or praiseworthy, we seek after these things. And that's exactly what that weekend showed us was people that were honest, that were good, that wanted to do good, that wanted to help their fellow man, wanted to help everybody. And just got me thinking, what more can I do? What more can we do to help? What more can we do to share the goodness, right? To share those opportunities, to go out and to serve, to help somebody, a smile, hold the door open for somebody, whatever that may be, right? What else can we do to help? So I just thought I'd leave that with you for today. And think about that. But share us some stories. Share us what is it that you're doing to help people? What are the good things that you're doing to help spread good in the world today? Or what are the things that other people are doing good, or doing for you? What are the good are they doing to you? So share that with us so we can share those stories as well. But thank you so much for listening, and this is Doing Good with a Pleasure.